Power. The most common definition of power is the ability to do something or to act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. Ability is having the knowledge to perform a specific task or skill. Being able to perform a skill so well that it is a quality or a faculty. A quality like kindness, or a faculty like walking and talking. So power is having a particular skill or ability that you can perform as easy as walking and talking. As I begin my real estate journey, I honestly believe home ownership was never in the cards for me. I always believed that I was going to get into tremendous debt, stuck paying loans and notes for my entire life. This is my greatest fear, not having a secure way to get through life. In becoming a realtor, I realized that most realtors begin by helping their friends and family. Now, I felt so happy and proud to get to be the one that brings my friends and family into home ownership. However, as I reached out, I began to see the truth, about my family situation. Most of you don't believe that home ownership is even possible. That's because you have not yet come to realize your power. Please let me tell you a little bit about my family history. My name is Levi Belfield. In Virginia, there was a plantation called Belfield. The plantation grew to become a city, Belfield, Virginia, which is now known as Emporia, Virginia. One slave named John Belfield was sold to another plantation called Old Man Brodnack's Place, which is now the city of Gaston in North Carolina. There, John met an Indian slave by the name of Sally. There, they were married and had 8 children. One of their sons they named John, and he had 8 children, named Nani Belfield. She married and had 8 children of her own, her eldest of which was named Levi Belfield, my grandfather. Now, at a young age, my grandfather was separated from his family and was passed around to a lot of family. Lo and behold, this is the foundation that would bring our entire family together. He was born in 1928. There is no time in history when black men or men of color have had an easy road or an advantage. At this time in American history, the social strain of living at this time was at its peak. However, even during the time of Jim Crow laws, my grandfather found it in himself to serve his nation. In the Navy, during the Korean War, my grandfather was sacrificing himself trying to bring peace and freedom to this world during the time where he couldn't use a white bathroom. And after his duty, he got a job as a sanitation engineer. That's a garbage man for the layman. And for 40 years, Levi Belfield toted the garbage of this city to help keep it clean and safe for you and me. He always told me what he did and how he did it. I was always amazed, but I never knew how powerful he was until I had to find my own power. So he was up early every day. He was at work at 3 a.m. See, he worked in a nice area in the Palo Alto Hills, where they have these big, nice houses. Man, a nice area with big houses and long driveways. Nowadays, the garbage industry is automated with hydraulics and electronics. My grandfather never had any of that stuff. His life and time was much harder. He had a tarp provided by the job. However, the tarp wasn't plastic. It was cotton, so it didn't protect against wet garbage. So what he would do, he would take this tarp and walk up these extremely long driveways. Then he would lay the tarp on the ground and he would take these people's trash and pour it into the tarp and repeat this task of laying down and unfolding the tarp, filling it with trash, wrapping it up, putting it on his back. And after several houses worth of trash, he would carry it to his truck. However, they did not have hydraulics or lifts. Back then, they had stairs. On the side of his truck, there were stairs. So he walks down the enormous driveways, then fold your garbage into a tarp, which he carried on his back, to a truck, where he then climbed the stairs. When he reached the top, he would unfold his blankets and dump the trash into the truck. He would do this every day. And he and my grandmother also ran a church. For years, they had a church going. Some were big and some were in his own backyard. But we had church every Tuesday, Friday, and twice on Sunday. He rented rooms to those in need. If you were okay, you didn't live with him. He always had tenants that couldn't pay or had trouble paying. He would let them stay and feed them. See, my father worked that exact same job for 30 years. The same company for 30 years. And he ran that church and he helped the homeless for 30 years. My father showed me how to work on cars and my grandmother showed me how to do carpentry. All the renters showed me skills that they had. All the people that I've met, I've learned something from, which has led me here. Toward the beginning of my working career, I was Yogi Bear. In 9th grade, I applied for a show's position at Great America Theme Park, and my first job was a cartoon character. However, during my junior year of high school, I started thinking of career. So I went to an extra vocational school during high school, and I learned culinary arts. This allowed me to gain a skill-based understanding of the field. And I was able to work special hours because of that program, which allowed me more free time during school. See, I was making money instead of being in class. And I worked for over 20 years in that field. Learning those skills got me hooked, but not for cooking, for learning. See, I began going back to school to learn. See, sometimes I got lost. Believe it, sometimes I gave up. But I kept coming back. I kept learning. When I had learned all I could from one program, I went to another school and learned the advanced knowledge they had in my field of study. Sometimes I had to start over from the beginning. But the course I was in was so dynamic that doing it over had benefits. Sometimes things were wrong. Sometimes I was late. But I was there every day. See, there's something that seems impossible. My grandfather's great-grandfather was a slave, sold from house to house. My grandfather walked from home to home, carrying trash on his back. Now I'm here today selling you a home. You don't tell me that you don't know what power is. It's time for you to find your power. Your power. Something that you can do that's easy as walking and talking. Maybe you can cut hair. Maybe you can detail a car. I mean, you could probably cook. There's power in you. Maybe you can sing, dance. Maybe you can host. There's power in you. And when I was young, I had yard sales. I sold hot dogs. Me and my family took a risk and we bought t-shirt equipment. We sold t-shirts. Maybe you have talented friends and family that have special skills. See, there's your power. See, in your neighborhood, in your community leaders are willing to and able to connect you with business owners of the area. See, there's your power. Church and religious organizations, they live to give, especially in situations where people are trying to better themselves. See, that's your power. It's all around you. There's power all around you, working for you, working with you. See, I'm Levi Belfield. And I'm here to tell you that you can do this. That you have the power.